time for another round of Brandy. Candid conversations over cocktails about all things brand with your hosts, Reilly Newman and Scott Saunders, the brand developers behind Motif Brands.
We're starting off with some news, actually some significant news, because Shein, the online retailer, is purchasing Everlane. And so if you're familiar with Everlane, Everlane has a very down-to-earth, transparent, kind of earthy vibe, I would say, where it's very self-aware, it's very no frills, just very all about quality and transparency and authentic attire. And Shein, on the other hand, isn't quite known for that.
Shein's kind of like Temu. I don't use Shein. I've used Temu. It's that kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's very what they're calling like fast fashion, where Shein pretty much gets on a trend, can kick out a bunch of cheap options, sell it for super cheap, and then that trend goes away, because the fashion industry works like that, right? You have huge kind of macro trends of fashion, and then there's these shorter spinning trends where these brands hop on, kick them out, and then sell. And then
but it's
gone.
cheap, and there's it's kind of like sometimes the sizing might be off, or the material might be super thin. They're knockoffs almost.
Yeah, and Everlane, they became popular because even on their website they had the cost of the materials or the garment, the cost of shipping and whatever production, and then like they would show the percentage they were taking off the sale. And so it was super transparent like that. So then when you're buying it, you had confidence and trust in this brand. And so now you have this, it's a little bit of, I would say almost like confusion for the consumer, where they're going, okay, this brand that I trusted is now being bought by this much bigger fast fashion kind of like cheaper brand. And we've seen this recently with even like Pepsi buying Lesser Evil, or was it Siesta?
Siesta? No, Siete.
Siete. Siesta. Same thing. And you've seen these organic, healthy brands getting bought by these huge, massive companies that aren't quite known for that. So there's even this kind of counterintuitive to these acquisitions. And I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Again, we don't know if they're just going to let Everlane do its thing and keep on its course of being this authentic quality brand, or it's going to kind of taint the waters a little and ruin the perception of the brand. It is a bummer because even Siete? God, I keep forgetting. I feel like it's Siete. So even with Siete, people have been on social media and stuff showing how the ingredients have changed ever since the Pepsi acquisition. Yeah, and so it's like it's a shame, because I love that brand, and then you're going, okay, even like Poppy got bought out, Lesser Evil. You had a lot of these brands that just got purchased, and are they going to start swapping materials? And could you have the same thing happen to Everlane? So we will see. Actually, along the same lines, in this kind of contradicting confusion with brands.
Brand confusion. Yeah, brand confusion.
We're talking about a much bigger one that took a lot of headlines this week. And it goes back to, again, another automaker making an odd choice. And it's interesting because you did have the Jaguar fiasco. When was that? Was that 2024? Or maybe early 2025.
Time's flying by.
And they did a complete just misstep where they gave their audience too much of whiplash of just going, hey, this is who we are now. Forget what you thought you knew about us or the meaning you held dear. And then now you have a, very luxury, sports car brand like Ferrari coming out and going, hey, you idolized our cars, our badge, their shield meant something, right? Their icon meant something when that was on a car. And now they launched an EV that has some, really impressive stats to it, but the design language of the vehicle completely changed. People are comparing it to the new Prius. It just the body of it, everything about it is not Ferrari.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's just a huge misstep where this brand, again, kind of like we saw a Jaguar, where they're going, hey, this is who we are now.
Yeah.
And not actually going along with what the audience is wanting.
And they tapped the shoulder of, Jony Ive, the Apple designer,
right,
the iPhone, and tapped him. And so his approach of more of a bubbly, minimalistic, simplified, like all dash interior and just these, body lines that are just, it's a good looking car, right? The design is good. it's just not a Ferrari.
No.
And it doesn't, they try to bring in some of the bylines of Ferrari, but it's not a Ferrari. And I think, to me, that's they've removed the dreamy luster of the car. What was it that you brought it up the other day? Lamborghini did a print ad.
Oh, Lamborghini did like some social campaigns where they were pretty much going like, they had some really sexy shots of their vehicle, and then they're like, proud to keep you dreaming or something like that. And it goes to when you do see one of these sports cars, you don't see them all the time, right? So when you do see them, it's like, oh wow, that thing is like, I know that thing's extremely powerful. It looks powerful. It looks sexy. It looks sleek. It looks like a beast that was designed to devour. And that's what, again, when someone does drive these things, they might be stuck in traffic in LA for the most part, but you know that the power under the hood.
I had posters in high school in the 80s of Lamborghini and Ferrari cars on my wall, because it was like one day to drive one or to be to touch one, whatever. It's just like, it was like this dreamy thing. And Lamborghini's leaning into that because they understand the reason that their customers buy their cars.
Yeah. And it's, when you look at the origin story of Tesla, and I've talked about this before, is that before Tesla, EVs was like Prius, right? You would drive a Prius because the social signaling you got from driving a Prius was, oh, I care about the earth. I'm being eco-friendly. Look at me. I'm saving the earth. It was a complete kind of social moral signaling. Tesla came along and went, no, hey, you can have something that's still sleek and sexy and sporty and have it still be EV, right? The EV thing almost took a secondary stance while the techie, sleek design took the forefront. And so that's where you kind of saw that transition. And so that was already, that crown has already been taken by someone like Tesla. Tesla's already if you got a Tesla Model S and it's the Plaid series or whatever they call it, that thing can go from 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds, which is about the same stats that this Ferrari can do. And it's, you're dealing with a completely different motor. It's just designed completely different energy source. So going from 0 to 60 in that short a time is kind of now expected for these vehicles if you're getting like the souped up one. But so if you subtract those two things, they're not driving the EV, especially someone who's buying a Ferrari. They're not buying it to signal that they care about the earth. They're not buying it to signal the power of it, because that those stats aren't impressive, because Tesla's been doing that for years. So then what does that leave? Why is someone buying a Ferrari? They're buying a Ferrari because of the badge, because of the icon and what a Ferrari represents. And so then you go, okay, well, what does that represent to someone? Well, that means this, like I was saying, this mean beast that was designed to devour the road. And whether that means they're just, going extremely fast on the on-ramp before they hit traffic, or it's just the feeling they get when they start the car, that's why they bought it. And like Scott's saying, it's that dream. It's that internal narrative going, oh, I achieved this, when they walk out to their driveway and they see it, or whatever it is.
Remember, we saw this. There's a video, a news clip, but they were talking about with the guy from Ferrari, talking about some of the features that they're also going to be rolling out with this, because they've just shown the development car. It's not like it's hit the market yet. But one of the fun things they're going to do, because even like whenever you hear like an EV car fire up or back out or start to go, it's very quiet, it's very spacious. Thank you for that backtrack there, Reilly. So what they're doing is they're going to be adding sensors to the rear of the car, like by the exhaust and everything, that reads and that, and then somehow channels the sound into the cabin area so that it sounds like you've got a throaty motor. So the driver in the car is going to accelerate or rev up the engine right before he drops into first, and it's going to be, sound like a Ferrari. Ugh. But it doesn't really. It's
made up,
manufactured. They might be using kinetic energy as the output, so it can really mirror the response to what you're actually doing in the engine. But it's converting it and then pumping it through into the cabin area of the car to make it sound like it's a throaty muscle car.
It's just completely ridiculous. That does not. If you need that, you need to go get therapy, because there's something, obviously a deeper rooted issue with your self-confidence and your ego that you need to have. I need my car to sound like this. and I want to drive an EV, and so now I need a delusional sound effect to make me feel like I'm driving this thing. And it probably is just tied to the gas pedal. The more you press on it, the louder the noise.
The guy, the engineer, was like, he was giving this spiel, and I think that we're gonna send the link to the video we're talking about, which it shows the car. They're talking about it, and they're all the info that we have on this. It's in a short little video, so maybe I think we'll.
It's a CNBC link, and even Lamborghini has come out, and the CEO of Lamborghini, he pretty much came out and said, like, I'm so happy we killed our EV. They're working on EV project because everyone was doing that, right? You think about 3 years ago, EVs were the new like iPhone, right? Everyone's coming out with EVs. People were buying them left and right and getting financing and all this stuff and getting whatever stipend from the government. So people were buying these things left and right, and now not so much. And so the EV market was completely kind of propped up by incentives and kind of just this weird mania around them. I don't know. It was odd in a lot of ways. And these deadlines that the government was putting on these additional pay packages. But Lamborghini killed theirs off. And you just kind of see the mishap of Ferrari leaning into this, because it's like, why else would someone who wants to buy a Ferrari, and again, it's like it's still priced like a Ferrari, why would someone want to buy this vehicle?
Buy a Ferrari. I mean, buy like a Ferrari.
Buy a real Ferrari. I mean, that's what you're getting.
It's weird though, because now it's convoluted now. Like because, and this is what we talk about with confusion, because when I say just buy Ferrari, Reilly's looking at me like nodding, like he knows exactly what I'm talking about. The non-EV version, and that's Ferrari. And so you've got this thing that has the Ferrari yellow shield emblem, just behind the wheel of the front end, and like all Ferraris. But it doesn't. It's still not. That doesn't make it a Ferrari in the buyer's, in the customer's mind. And that's why I think, probably why we're hammering this home today is because it just goes that the more you really need to know who your customer is. You need to know the type of buyer you're fishing for, or the customer or the clients you're looking for. That's why we always say, like, it's, where are you steering the ship? What's your demographic that you're going after? And the more you know about them, and get into their psychology. Why are they doing it? Why do they buy it? Yeah. Is it need? Is it desire? Is that you are the solution to whatever pain problem they have in their life? Figuratively, that's what's being asked. And so it's like remembering that the buyer buys a certain thing for a certain reason. And so again, why is someone buying a Ferrari? Because it's a Ferrari. I mean, the brand speaks for itself. It's performance. It's luxury. It makes a statement. It's all those things. And so that's why someone buys it, not because the functionality of the car, as far as like, oh, it's an EV or whatever.
Yeah. And I could see the argument that they might have been like, okay, we're going out into EV. We need it to not look like our normal lineup. So let's get Jony Ive on this, and he can make it look like an iPhone. And then it's going to be this new kind of brother or sister of the Ferrari line. Okay, that could maybe make sense, because maybe there's 0.01 or less than that % of the population who can afford this EV and actually be interested in it.
Yeah.
It's like you're dealing with the same people who they're not buying the car for its purposes that it's representing. They're buying it for social signaling and what the brand represents. And to them, what does the brand represent? It doesn't represent an electric vehicle that's piping sound effects into the cabin of the car. So you feel like it's like the same thing that they have at Cars Land, right? When you do the Cars ride, it's exactly the same thing, where they have the vibration, they have the sound effects. So it sounds awesome, but it's a fake car. It's not real. It's all just sound effects. And it's just sad because if you look at the history of Ferrari and the founder, Enzo Ferrari, he was the most like detail-oriented, just intense designer of vehicles at the time. And he just, this would probably have him rolling in his grave of seeing what Ferrari represented. Because even you watch the Ford versus Ferrari movie and the competition there with Ford and them going back to back on performance and trying to get this, again, they're trying to design a machine that just like, it's a beast. And it's still sleek and beautiful, and it's it's like a sculpture that you're designing. And now it's just like that seems to be forgotten. And I think it's just another letdown by a automaker.
And it's not just us. It's not just us, because you were saying like there's memes dropping right now.
It's everywhere.
There's a lot. The buzz
it.
in the proverbial locker room about on brand this is kind of like a Cracker Barrel moment where people are like going, or a Jaguar moment where like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, they completely Jaguared this thing, and now the car has turned.
Now we've turned into a verb.
And I just don't understand what's in the water, because Volkswagen just did this with the Volkswagen bus. The bus and the Bug are probably they are the most iconic Volkswagen like IP.
Yeah.
They're assets that they have.
More than the Jetta or...
and the Jetta, the Rabbit. They've done really good with some of their other ones, but obviously the Bug and the bus are the most iconic. And the Buzz ID, we've talked about it before, is like, hey, the naming was awful. Buzz ID made no sense. And then I looked into the history of that, and that was pretty much like, oh, we need it to sound like bus, because they were making an EV version of the bus, but they wanted to represent the buzzing sound that EVs make. It was like, and then the ID,
it was clunky.
Now they've discontinued that because that was a complete flop. And so they just it's these brands, and they're grasping for straws because of the kind of, I don't know, I think it's the EV lure of something new, and the brands go, oh, we need to do this, when it's like, no, someone bought a Volkswagen bus because it was a Volkswagen bus. They're not wanting this. Same thing with Ferrari. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm curious to see if they'll actually keep it going, or they'll kill it or if they won't sell any at all.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening. We will be back again next week with another episode of Brandy. And check out the link and watch the video.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the notes below. Cheers.